Hey guys, this is Vengeful Parrot here from Two True Reviews, and today I am making my fifth attempt at recording my review for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Sorry this is so late. I've been having a heck of a time with my microphone because for some reason every time I tried to go and record this particular review, my microphone would start freaking out. I'd be getting a whole bunch of feedback on the line and everything. It was just plain ridiculous. However, I did a pretty thorough test before recording this, and I didn't get any feedback at all, so I'm hoping that maybe it's going to work this time. So obviously, if it doesn't, you won't be hearing any of this. So anyways, moving on. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. What exactly is it? Well, in short, it is a 3D third-person shooter rendition of PopCap's popular mobile title, Plants vs. Zombies. The game on iOS and Android, I believe it's on Android. I honestly don't know. But the game on mobile is essentially kind of like a base defense game or tower defense almost. It's really only a flow from right to left, and your base or whatever is on the left-hand side, and all the enemies are coming from the right. This game is not nearly as linear or anything as what that is, so you don't have to worry about that. It is a multiplayer-only game similar to Titanfall. The key difference being that for the Xbox One version, there is a split-screen option. Now, this split-screen option, admittedly, was added in last minute. Even the developer came out and said, hey, we hadn't planned on putting it in, but then we just kind of decided to a little late in the game. That being said, like it says at the bottom there, in split screen mode, only player one can earn coins, complete challenges, and earn achievements. That will be important. I will talk about coins, challenges, and that kind of thing a little bit later. But the split screen game mode only offers one game type, and that is Garden Ops. Again, we'll get back to that in a little bit. The first thing that I do want to touch on is the sticker shop and what it is. This game operates similarly in how you unlock things to what Mass Effect 3's multiplayer did. When you play the multiplayer, you earn credits, coins effectively, and you use those coins to then buy sticker packs, which you can then, those sticker packs will either give you consumables, or they will unlock character customization options, or brand new characters and weapon upgrades altogether. I'll go ahead and go over to my sticker book, and you can kind of see this is all the consumables for the plant team. You have the pea cannon, repeater, Gatling pea, bok choy. All of those are essentially plants that you would find in the mobile title that were more easily put as a deployable unit rather than transforming it into a playable character. Now, here are here's the pea shooter guy. That's like kind of the basic infantry type for the plant team, and this would be the stickers for one of the unique versions of him. Again, I'll kind of be able to show you exactly what I mean in a little bit, but essentially on each team, both the plants and the zombies, you have 4 different characters, and then each of those characters have different variants. Like, for instance, the Chomper. I've unlocked an additional variant for him. So we have the regular Chomper right here, and then you can see I have 1 sticker for that guy, and 1 for that guy, and then I have Count Chompula. Now, the main difference between the two characters is that Count Chompula, every time he does damage, whether he is swallowing a zombie or if he's just biting them, he regains a little bit of health. Whereas the other, basic variant of the Chomper doesn't do that at all. So that aspect of the game does add a little bit of a unique twist to everything, and there are game modes that will disable those unlockable character variants. Now, like I said, there are 4 different characters on each team. For the plants, you have the pea shooter, the chomper, sunflower, and cactus. Essentially, your pea shooter is your very mobile, kind of basic infantry type. Chomper is close quarters, essentially melee only kind of character, because all he can do is, bite things, and, swallow them whole and all that. Your sunflower is your, healer and in general kind of support troop. And your cactus is your, sniper kind of character. He's great at taking things out at a distance, and his character abilities allow him to build up defenses and that kind of thing. Because, he can place down land mines, which are potato mines, or tall nut battlements, which are essentially little miniature walls that help block off paths. And then he can deploy a garlic drone, which is a remote-controlled kind of sentry drone that has essentially like a machine gun, and it can also call in devastating quote-unquote corn strikes, which is essentially an airstrike. A bunch of corn on the cobs will come flying out of the sky, hit the ground, and then explode. Now, each character does have a unique set of abilities, and for the most part, each of those characters' abilities are mirrored onto the other side, but maybe in a different grouping. So as you can see here, you have cactus. Okay, so we have the garlic drone, the tall nut battlement, and the potato mine. Those are all under one character on the plant team as the cactus. However, if you want the equivalents on the zombie team, the all-star has the dummy shield, which is the equivalent of the tall nut battlement. And then you have to go to the engineer for the zombot drone, which is the equivalent of the garlic drone. And then you have to go to the scientist, and his sticky explodey ball is the equivalent of the potato mine. So you can see how there is a little bit of a variance, and it does cause you to play differently depending on which team you happen to be on. So, that being said, both teams, the way they're set up and everything, their classes are very important. All of them are important. Treating any one class as if it's not important can almost make you lose. Like, if your team is all playing as, the cactus or something, you're most likely going to lose. If you're all playing as the sunflower and just healing the crap out of each other, you're probably going to lose. It is a good idea to have a nice, healthy variety of class types on your team, whether you are the plants or the zombies. It doesn't matter, because they all have their benefits and their downsides. So, it's kind of a fine balance, and there are certain things that each class can do that the others cannot. For example, the engineers are capable of building like little miniature turrets at specific points, as well as a teleporter system in a certain game mode. We'll get more into that a little bit later. But yeah, overall, the game kind of plays similar to what Team Fortress 2 does. They're the different class types, and the game is kind of, silly and goofy and cartoony. It is a very kid-friendly game. So if you are wanting to maybe get one of your younger siblings, or maybe one of your younger kids into video games, or maybe into third-person shooters specifically, then this would be a great option. That being said, the online community can still be a little unforgiving and colorful in terms of language. So if you're not comfortable with your kid hearing curse words and that kind of thing, you may want to still keep the parental controls enabled that make it so that they can't talk to anyone. They can still play the game, obviously, because like I said, it is a great kids game, but the like I said, some people take this game really seriously, which I personally find hilarious. But as a whole, it can be great for kids, but they shouldn't really be, talking with the people that are cursing up a storm. But again, that's just my opinion. If you're okay exposing your kid to that kind of thing, then that is your prerogative. Anyways, moving on. So, like I said, 4 different characters, each team, they're split up, and kind of a fine balance on each one. Now, real quick before we get started in the different game modes, on the right-hand side of the main menu there, you'll notice that billboard, and there's several different things like, Garden Variety Pack is being listed. That's a new playlist for the multiplayer modes. There's the new Chomp Town map. And also, I believe the next one, or maybe the one after that, talks about Gnome Bomb mode, which is a new game type. The new Chomp Town map is kind of where I want to focus, because PopCap, or EA, whoever you want to give credit to, added that map in absolutely free. I didn't have to download anything, I didn't have to pay for anything. So they just kind of pushed it out as a game update along with the Gnome Bomb mode, and now it is available for everyone to play, which is fantastic. I personally love that they did that for absolutely free. I think more companies need to do that. At least, with like the first DLC package that they release, I think it should be free for everyone, and if they want to charge after that, then you know what, I could care less. But most games nowadays are releasing very limited selections when it comes to maps and that kind of thing, if you ask me. So I think that they kind of owe it to us to release at least one, free set of stuff. I have no idea if PopCap is planning on continuing. Sorry about that, that's my phone. I don't know if they're planning on continuing this, free kind of thing that they started, but we'll see. Now, real quick, I did just want to mention that the sticker shop that I mentioned earlier, I said it was, like Mass Effect 3 style, how you use in-game currency to buy everything. That is the only similarity it has. You cannot use real money to buy these. There are absolutely no microtransactions in this game, which is, again, fantastic. Now, first up, I want to show you the Garden Ops mode. This is a game mode that can be played by yourself, split screen with a friend if you're playing on Xbox One. If you're playing this game on Xbox 360, you don't have the split screen option. So, like I said, you can play this by yourself, or you can play it, online with up to 3 other people, or split screen with a friend. And I will show you exactly what this game mode is about. Alright, so we have the character selection screen here, and again, we are playing Garden Ops. Now, in Garden Ops, you can only play as the plants, so you will never play as the zombies in this game mode. We're going to go ahead and pick the cactus because he's one of my favorite characters. And essentially what this game mode is you start out and you have 3 different choices, essentially. Where those beams of light are, in just a little bit, there will be the word garden that pops up. Alright, there we go. So, essentially, these 3 different points are different areas that you can, quote, plant your garden. And when you plant your garden there, it essentially starts the game. And the game is basically like a base defense game. You will be tasked with defending your garden from waves of zombies. And the waves obviously get progressively harder and all of that kind of stuff. It can be very, very fun with multiple people, or even playing just split screen. However, it is not really the most entertaining thing when you're playing by yourself, and it's not very beneficial either. I'm going to go ahead and plant my garden here and play through, the first couple of waves with you guys watching, just so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Now, let's see. You see these glowing pots? these are where you can expend the consumables on the plant team. Now these consumables are only available, on certain game modes. It's not every game mode that they're available. And you get them through those sticker packs that I mentioned earlier. The cheapest ones will give you, these, excuse me, the cheapest sticker pack will give you a whole boatload of these consumable items. Now, as you can see here, we got, a bunch of just real basic zombies coming in. The reason I'm wanting to burn through this first wave real quick and show you the second wave is because all of the player class zombies, like the scientist and the engineer and everything like that, the all-star, they don't start showing up until oh boy, why did that blow up? Okay. But they don't start showing up until the second wave. The first wave is just all these guys. So, yeah. But like I said, I mean, this can be a rather entertaining game mode if you're playing with multiple people. It's not really the greatest when you're playing solo. And that's because it's all up to you, and if you're playing on anything but easy, you will most likely lose. But okay, see, now this is the regular soldier guy. This would normally be played as a player character in the other game modes. Alright, it looks like there's another soldier zombie coming in on the left. Oh, yep, and he's shooting me with rockets. Okay. But anyways, so like I was saying, I mean, this can be a really fun game mode, but it's not really the greatest when it comes to solo play, just because it is completely up to you, and the rewards aren't the greatest either. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to the end of this, however, as far as I could possibly get, just to show you what we're looking at in terms of rewards. Alright, so as you can see here, I got taken out on wave 5 by that big dude. He is wave 5 would have been the first boss wave. And that's typically what's going to end up taking you out. I mean, it is possible to complete a game of this by yourself. However, it is rather difficult. So, again, because of the difficulty, the fact that you're playing alone, and all that kind of stuff makes it so that, Garden Ops isn't the most entertaining thing to play by yourself. But like I said before, with a lot of other people, it can be very entertaining. Now, as you can see here, apparently my controller got disconnected. Weird. Okay, maybe it's out of battery. Okay, there we go. Got the whole controller thing fixed. Now, anyways, like I was saying, as you can see, I only got, a score of 1325. But I got that's all I really got, and that is what I would have received in coins. Now, in playing this game mode by myself, the highest I've been able to score was, I believe, about 7,500. And obviously that was getting all the kills and everything by myself, so you can see how it's not quite as rewarding as what you may hope. Some of the other game modes can end up rewarding you upwards towards, 15 to 20,000 coins per game if you do well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you one of the other game modes real quick. It is my favorite game mode, and that is the Gardens and Graveyards game mode. This is a game mode where you can play as the plants or the zombies, if you don't get to play as your preferred team the first round or game or whatever, you will switch sides the next time, and it just kind of goes back and forth like that. Before we jump into that, I want to do a quick rundown of the playlists / game types. We have the welcome mat, which is great for people who are not very good at games in general, or maybe new to third-person shooters. It's great because the worse you do, the more health you gain the next time you spawn. And also customization and unlocked characters are not permitted in this game mode. Now, the customization and unlocked characters restriction is also in place on Classic Gardens and Graveyards, as well as Classic Team Vanquish. Essentially like the Count Chompula character that I showed you earlier, who is a unique variant of the Chomper, then he would not be playable, as well as any other unlocked characters and everything. Now, mixed mode is just, Team Vanquish and Gardens and Graveyards, and you kind of flip-flop back and forth between the two. Gnome Bomb is essentially a neutral bomb game mode. Each team has 3 points that they have to, defend and attack respectively. And there's a neutral bomb that will spawn. You pick up the bomb, take it to one of the enemy's bomb sites, plant it, and then defend it while it, counts down to blow up. If the timer reaches 0 before any team's 3 points are destroyed, then it's essentially whoever, has destroyed the most. If it's currently tied, like you've both only destroyed 1, then the next team to score a point would win. Then there's Team Vanquish, which is essentially Team Deathmatch, except the only twist, I guess, is that if you revive a fallen teammate, that does take away a point from the enemy team. And then there's Gardens and Graveyards, which is, like I said, what I'm going to be showing you. Essentially, this game mode is like a game of Rush in the Battlefield franchise. The plants have, a set number of bases, and they are tasked with defending those bases, and they essentially defend them one by one.
How cool this game is. It actually shows the piece.
Okay, sorry about that. Had to mute some people that were talking. As you can see, I am on the plant team, and I am currently playing as Cactus. There's an enemy player. Now, in my personal opinion, and in my experience playing the game, the plants typically are at a little bit of a disadvantage against the zombies. I don't know what it is about, the zombies and everything, but they seem to always do better. I'm not saying it's impossible to win when you're playing as the plants, but it does seem to be a lot more challenging. I don't know if that was designed that way intentionally by the developer, or if maybe there's just, some balancing that needs to happen. But, like I said, the zombies are more often than not a little stronger. It's not that they necessarily have more health or anything, it's just that their teams seem to do better. And I think that's partially because their team has a lot of characters that can more easily hip-fire their weapons, whereas with most of the plant-based characters, you're better off aiming down sights. Again, that could just be me. I mean, for all I know, I could just terribly, awfully suck at this game. But anyways, I realized I never really finished explaining what this game mode is like, because I had to, wait and then mute people and everything, which is always annoying. So yeah, anyways, like I was saying, this game mode, basically the plants have, a whole bunch of gardens that they have to defend, and essentially, as you play through the rounds, the zombies are attacking these different bases, and if they capture a base, the plants are then pushed back to the next one, and the zombies have to take that one. I believe there are 6, 7 different bases, something like that, per map. I can't quite remember, but
Well, I'm gonna
it's
be my
exactly.
father.
But like I said, it's pretty much exactly like the Rush game mode in Battlefield 3 and 4, and I guess technically also the Bad Company titles as well. Oh boy, we're getting our butts kicked. So yeah, this is essentially what it looks like, and while I play, I'm going to take a moment to talk about the challenges, because I said that I would talk about those later, and now is later. Each character has their own individual level and everything, and that level is... shoot.
Burrow. So that's what this is called? A burrow.
Anyways, each level, I guess, you have to complete a specific number of challenges. As you can see there on the right hand side, there are a bunch of different tasks and an appropriate amount of stars for however many I have completed. So, if, for example, in order to get to level 5 with the cactus, I have to vanquish 3 zombies with the drone's corn strike, vanquish 3 players with potato mines, and vanquish 3 all-stars. It's pretty much as simple as that. Once you get all of the stars for that particular level, then you are given a new set, and you have to complete them before you can progress on to that next level again. So pretty self-explanatory, and again, that is something that is in place for both the plants and the zombies. They are tasked with completing these challenges and everything where appropriate. Goodness gracious. Thank you. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and, probably skip ahead to playing as zombies. That way you can kind of see what that is like.
Oh, there's just a bunch of zombies over there.
Alrighty, so like I was saying, here is some zombie gameplay, and this purple wrench over here is where the teleporter is. So, and I'm getting shot already. Basically, as the engineer, I'm going to want to come over here and build this, and hopefully not die in the process. Dang it. The reason I want to build that is because the teleporter will effectively work as an advanced spawn point almost. What will end up happening is I will be able... there will eventually end up being like a glowing purple door, like right there, and the zombies can just walk into it, and then they would be teleported all the way over there, which is obviously going to save them some time and allow them to, more quickly attack the plant garden. Goodness gracious. And here, this pile of dirt and bones that's glowing is one of the consumable spots for these zombies, and you can spawn various types of zombies. You can spawn any of them really that you may have seen for the little bit of footage that I showed during the garden ops mode. You can spawn just regular zombies. You can spawn zombies that have like cones on their head, buckets on their head. You can spawn the zombies that are inside of the porta potties and coffins and that kind of thing. As you can see, that guy just built the teleporter, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So I just spawned a zombie with a newspaper, and oh boy, hi, you there with the eating me. Okay. Yeah, so when you get swallowed by a chomper, you can't do much of anything. Like, you're not revivable or anything. And here's that purple door I was talking about. So just walk through it, and bam, we're all the way over here. It's super, super nice for, the zombies. And that may be what tips the scales in their favor most of the time. I mean, the last game that I was playing as plants, my team did end up winning, but we barely won. It was quite literally by the skin on our teeth. Oh boy. Dang it. Anyways, yeah, like, we ended up getting down to essentially, like, the last, like, 20 seconds or something, and we had next to no health left on the final objective, but we still managed to hold out long enough that we didn't really need to worry about it. Oh my gosh. So, in case it wasn't plainly obvious, I'm not really the greatest at this game. But yeah, I mean, I think you've probably seen enough at this point to get a good feel for it. Now, as far as my recommendations, do I recommend this game? Like I said before, if you have maybe some, kids in your house that like video games, or, maybe you're just trying to get a younger kid interested in video games or something like that, or interested in a specific genre, or the specific genre that is, third-person shooters, then this would definitely be a fantastic choice. There's very little about this game that it could be seen as, bad. I mean, like I have been saying, the only, like, really, quote, bad thing is just simply, come on, I thought I had him. What? Whatever. Anyways, it's just simply the online community is still not really the greatest. There are a lot of kids that play this, so it's not going to be too terrible, but you will find the occasional very passionate older person that likes to curse. And again, if you're not okay with that, as a parent for your children or anything, then this wouldn't be a good choice. I mean, as far as, like, recommending it for, your average gamer, I still think it would be a great game to pick up. It's a nice game for me to play when I just want to be able to, like, sit down and relax. Because, I mean, sometimes Battlefield and Call of Duty, that kind of thing, can be a little on the stressful side. This game, not so much. I mean, like I said, there are some people who take it very, very seriously, and there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, but I don't know. Like I said, they can get a little extreme sometimes, so I don't know. Take that as you will. But yeah, that is about it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, then definitely feel free to comment down below. If there's a game that I haven't reviewed that you would like to see me review, then feel free to do that as well. In the meantime, this is Vengeful Parrot, signing off.